everyone, back again for another video with Ariel here.
Can't get enough of me.
Can't get enough of you. Ariel recently started freelancing, right?
Yes.
Like, as your main way of earning money. Like, that's what you do now.
Yes.
And so...
it's become more serious.
Yes. I wanted to do a video talking about that, because freelancing is something that I only do part-time, really. So I feel like I've not really dived fully into this freelancing world, you know? So Ariel's going to share some, like, I don't know, some advice, some struggles you've faced. And actually, I will say also that she's got a podcast all about freelancing. It's called Portrait of a Freelancer, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, tell us about your freelancing. Like, why did you decide to pursue this terrifying, like, way of life?
Yeah. Scary is it's accurate.
Yeah.
So, it's an idea I've wanted to do for a long time.
Yep.
I started making videos when I was 16, and completely as a hobby.
Yep.
There was no aspirations to make it any bigger.
Yeah.
And so for the first few years of doing it, it was just something I did for fun. I was studying English at university, and I was kind of like, I'm not sure exactly what I'm gonna do, but I had career goals.
Yeah.
Like maybe publishing,
Yep.
hopefully writing books and stuff. So I did see myself getting like a proper job.
Yeah.
I just didn't know in what capacity.
Right.
But the more that I made videos, the more that I started to like just doing stuff on my own and being very independent, the more I enjoyed it. And the bigger my audience got, the more it seemed feasible that I could sustain myself by doing stuff online. So then, there was a catalyst moment, an epiphany of sorts, where I went and did an internship. And this internship was lovely. This is the thing that I don't want anyone to think that it wasn't a good time, because it was. The people were so nice, the office was really fun, it was at a publishing house.
Yep.
And so it was really valuable for me as a person. By the way, I make book videos. So as a person who makes book videos, it was so valuable to get to go and like into a publishing house, and it was a small publishing house, which meant that I got to see every aspect of it. It was fantastic, but I hated it. Like, the people were so nice, okay? Everything was so nice about it, and honestly, I can't really imagine, like, a way better office. It was a really great office.
It's just that office life didn't suit you,
But it
right?
was, I didn't like it at all. Okay, this is gonna sound to a lot of people like I'm a spoiled brat. I can accept that. But waking up at 7 a.m. every single day made me want to die. It was awful. I hated it. Because, you know, if I have to wake up, like today, I had to wake up at like 7:30 to get ready and everything, that's fine. Once a week, I can do that. When it's necessary, I can do it, but every single day.
Do you think it's not so much the time being early in the morning, but the fact that it was like a deadline almost thing, like that you have to be working at this time?
No, it's like if I want to wake up 7 a.m. of my own volition, I don't mind 7 a.m. as a concept.
Yeah.
I just, you know, but I hated that it was the same time every day.
Yeah.
But also that I only had 1 hour for lunch, which was actually apparently pretty liberal, because
some places get half an hour.
Some places only get half an hour, so I was actually granted a lot of lunchtime. But I was like, only an hour. But also, it's not, again, it's not just the hour. It's the idea of a time constraint. So this internship was so illuminating, because it really made me realize, you know what I want is a lifestyle that I can control. And now that I feel confident that I've kind of closed that door, I kind of had to know that I didn't like that office lifestyle. I'm just gonna pursue the freelancing life.
So maybe if you're watching this and you're feeling like, I don't know, the thought of working in an office is really discouraging for you, sounds like you might be like Ariel, and that freelancing life might be a good thing. Yeah. I will say though, with freelancing, because you had that experience of doing videos and like doing a project, you'll obviously like have some time management skills and can be self-motivated.
So this is a thing, because you can't just jump into freelance and think it's gonna be, woohoo, you can work whenever you want, and like, you don't have to wake up if you don't want to, like, you can stay until whenever you want. I actually do have a lot of experience managing my own time. I did my first year of university completely online.
Oh, wow.
In a foreign country. So I had no support system. Anytime I wanted to ask for help, I had to email and wait a few days. So there was a lot of troubleshooting on my own end, where I had to figure everything out. I had to self-motivate myself. I didn't have classes to attend. I had lectures to watch online. Wow. And so I had to make sure I watched them, right? So that was a really big lesson. Also in high school, I did a few courses online. I did gym online. That should be illegal. So a lot of the stuff that I've done, I feel like has given me that foundation of motivating myself to work when I need to work. So here's the thing. When I tell people that I didn't like going into the office, and going and like having these time constraints and everything. It's not that I don't like doing work. Like, I like doing work. I like doing stuff. I just like doing my own stuff in my own time.
And that is the very important, like, distinction to make here, I think, is a lot of people think freelancing means, like, total freedom.
Yeah.
But you have to work a lot.
There's a lot of work.
Yeah, it's hard. And you do have to have that
hard.
Self-motivation to be able to do it.
Yeah. I've been drowning lately in emails. Can we talk about emails for a hot second? I want to make a video. I'm going to make a podcast episode all about emails. I hate emails. They're the worst part about freelancing. So basically freelancing, I've been having this thought in my head. What's the difference between freelancing and self-employment? Self-employment, I think freelance is self-employment.
Yeah.
But self-employment isn't necessarily freelance. Like, would you call someone who owns their own store a freelancer?
No.
But they are self-employed.
Yes,
you see what I'm saying?
Point, yeah.
So I kind of think I'm a mixture of the two, because I'm self-employed by making my YouTube videos. That's not really freelance because no one's hiring me to do that.
Yeah.
But I do edit videos for other companies, so that's freelance. So I'm kind of doing both. But essentially, freelance and self-employment, you're running your own business.
Yeah.
You are your own business. You have to bring in your own clients. You have to bring in your own collaborators, connections, etc., and all of that happens through email. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's a stressful time. Like, my inbox is my most stressful part of
I like
freelancing.
to ignore mine.
Yeah, no, and so do I. And then I'm in trouble, because then I'm like, then I've pushed my own projects back.
Yeah. Would you say that's one of the toughest things about freelancing then, is that you have to deal with everything, right?
Yeah,
like,
there's
no one
support.
to, I don't know, refill the printer with paper or whatever.
Yeah,
you have to do everything yourself.
There's no help. There's no assistance. There's no higher up.
Yep.
There's no like, I don't know how to do this. I'll just ask my boss. And it's like, okay,
no, you gotta
Ariel,
work it out.
what do I do?
Google.
There's no input from other people.
Yeah.
Unless you're clever and you build a community of support.
Yes. Actually, this is a good time to bring in that by the time this video comes out, the Design Life community should be live.
I've signed up, and so should you.
There we go. So we wanted to make this place for people who do freelance to have like a water cooler of sorts, right? Because you do feel like you're working by yourself and you're alone. And so, we wanted to make a place where you can come and get advice, get feedback, and give it as well, because we want it to be a place where everyone shares their thoughts. So I feel like you're going to have some good thoughts to share.
I think that's really valuable because, for example, I do a lot of work with publishing houses. And sometimes I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Like I don't know if I'm supposed to exactly what they want from me. Yeah. I don't know what I should charge. That's a huge problem.
Oh yeah.
Et cetera, et cetera. And so, thankfully, through BookTube, which is what people are calling the BookTube community, is the book YouTubers. Through BookTube, I've met a lot of people that are doing what I'm doing and work in publishing. And so I have these friends who I can reach out to and be like,
that's great.
Dude, what do I do? But then also, I'm so happy when people email me or message me. Like, I had a friend a couple of weeks ago who was like, hey Ariel, I've never done like a sponsored video before.
Yeah.
I just got this offer.
Like, how much should I charge?
How much should I charge?
That's my favorite thing, is when freelancers
real?
Talk to each other and like help each other figure out the price. I think it helps the industry as a whole, and obviously for me this is more to do with the design industry, but it can apply to pretty much everything. Like, you don't want to be taken advantage of.
No.
So you want the company to be paying what you're worth. You don't want them to feel like they're getting you at a steal, you know?
Yeah, you also don't want to feel greedy, though.
Yeah.
Like, I really worry that I'm going to ask for too much, and they're going to be like, who does she think she is? But then at the same time, I need to eat.
Yep, and they want to work with you,
Charlie.
So, yeah, you do. It is
I really need it.
Well, okay, any last, I don't know, advice you want to share for someone who is thinking that maybe freelance is the thing for them?
What I would say is, don't feel like it's an all or nothing situation.
Yeah.
You don't have to today decide you're a freelancer, drop everything else, and throw yourself into... You can do that if you want, but you don't have to do that.
Yeah.
And the way that I've come into freelance is part of the reason that I like freelance. Natural, organic.
Yes.
I did talk about this a little bit on my podcast, but there's this idea that, like, to be a proper freelancer, you have to do it all the time. But you do it part-time.
Yeah.
Right? There's no right way to do this. So what I would say is, if you want to... Let's say you want to make YouTube videos, because that's something we're both doing, and we're both doing right now. If you want to make YouTube videos, start right now. But don't put the pressure on yourself that it has to be a full-time gig right away.
Yeah, and the same can apply, I think, to any freelancing industry you're going to be in. If you're doing design... like, you can start on little projects for yourself, or little projects for stores that are around you, friends that have businesses, or whatever. Just build up the work, and you'll have like a track record, right, of people to then see. And
I thought of another tip. I really want people to not feel like their career has to follow a linear path. I feel like there's this pressure that the next thing you do has to be bigger and better, and then after that, the next thing has to be bigger and better. Obviously, ultimately, we want the trajectory of our careers to head upwards in an upwards kind of direction, but if the next thing that you're really excited and passionate to do is not going to bring you as much income as the last thing, don't stop that. Don't let that stop you.
I love that advice.
Oh, thanks,
I don't know if I've ever heard someone...
You were giving a real poker face there, and I was like, oh god.
I was just like taking it all in. I love that. I don't think I've ever really heard someone talk about that before, but it is important. Because you do feel like you have this pressure to keep improving and like keep stepping up. You don't want to feel like you're moving backwards, but... Yeah, the overall trajectory is more important than each individual project.
You don't need each project to be bigger and better.
Yeah,
and don't panic. Just do what you want.
That is great advice to end on. Thank you for having this chat, Erin.
Absolutely, thanks for having me on again.
Make sure you go and check out her YouTube channel if you didn't already from the last video. She's obviously great, and you will enjoy it. Alright, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.
Bye!
Bye!